Alright, today is October 24th. In this video, I'm going to review two disappointing trades I took on TLRY and DWAC and talk about failed discipline and look into a routine to prevent myself from some of these pointless trades. More of this one. This one was somewhat excusable. And then talk about a healthy and exercise plan to get myself out of the house in non-productive trading hours. And again, to try to reduce the likelihood of these two trades from happening. So I'll start with TLRY. It was on Thursday, basically. TLRY had a big move earlier in the week. And I did long it a little bit at 1060 here and sold it too soon. But the next day was just holding around 11s. So I got some in the 1130 area. And I thought if it could just kind of base around this 1280, maybe it could really have a big move. And basically what I did was I watched this all morning, and then right up about here I added towards the top because I thought I was going to break out and go. Not the greatest add, and eventually I cut it when it came under 1160, which was my average, so that would have been a flat trade. But then I traded it a few times in here, and I mean the idea was dead after the 1160 crack. It went even lower yesterday, all the way to 10s, so that's disappointing. I lost about $360 on this. Not massive, but it's just disappointing because I went in and out after this snapped. So I just was having trouble taking the loss, and I was trying to fight it. I think the reason this happens is generally when my week is going well, I have some good trades, then the next day I just feel like, okay, I'm going well, I'm just going to trade again, even if the setup is not there. This is not one of my setups. This is a very speculative long, Okay, next trade was DWAC. This was a huge discipline failure. Basically, it was the same day, and I was going to the hospital with my wife, so I was not going to trade this day. This is the day I traded it. And right here there was some kind of resistance early in the morning. There's something down here like 17 or something. And here it is. This looks a lot. This is what the chart looked like when I was planning to trade it. Something like this. So I just decided I was going to risk around here. Take a small short. I had 100, 200, or 300 shares, which was about a $5,000 position. And it just didn't really cooperate with me for a while, and I took several entries and exits. Racked up a $900 loss, which is bigger than my max loss limit. This is actually a SPAC, which is something I did not know going in. I really did not research the stock. I didn't know the float. I didn't know it was a SPAC. I didn't know why it was running. It was something to do with Trump social media. This is really just a spur of the moment, like I'm going to go downtown to the hospital, why don't I trade first? Which is a complete lack of discipline. And luckily I did get a little bit back because I shorted around 19 here and covered around the 17s and 18s. But I mean, overall on the day, I put together over $1,000 in losses, which was unnecessary. So that was extremely disappointing. So, I know part of the reason why I do this is trading's going well, so I just think anytime I see an opportunity, I'm going to trade, which doesn't work for me. So I decided what I want to do is try to make a flow chart in the morning, kind of like a decision map to decide whether to trade and what strategy I should move forward with when I decide to trade, and if I'm going to do a speculative trade, how to avoid it from turning into a big loss, because this is just a complete waste of time and energy and money. The last thing is I finally kind of filled in my afternoons with an exercise plan. I'm going to go to the pool and get out of the house during non-productive trading hours. And that's it for that. So coming up on Monday, I am looking to trade DWAC. I think it's going to do similar to what Kodak did on this. Had a massive run from 6 to 60. It had its massive slam the day of the run, a big bounce, and then it ended kind of weak. And then the next day it gapped up and retested this level. And then from there on, it was just a downward spiral into where it is now. So I'm hoping this stock tomorrow, and I could trade PUHN, but I just like the price point of this more because, yeah, shares will be expensive, but I don't need to get many. So I'm hoping it either retests this 100 level, but maybe even gap higher and like retest 150. That would be like the ultimate, because from 170 to where it came, 60, it's already lost more than half of its gains, so I really need to see it much higher to want to short it. So maybe, maybe I'll wait for 15-20 minutes off the open, let it shake everyone out. But I hope, minimum 113 all the way down to 140. If I could swing it, that would be great. 50. But maybe even higher, maybe 150s, 140s. That would be amazing. So that's what I'm looking to do. And yeah, I'll be piecing into this slowly and have a wide risk and taking more of a long-term view. As long as the price is not absolutely ridiculous, I think this would be a trade to swing.